Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel. So last week I did a video on make.com, and in that video I used a piece of software called Perplexity.ai, and a few of you have asked me what that is all about. So if you want to see the video on Make, look up here. But today we're going to get into Perplexity.ai. Okay, so if you think of ChatGPT and Gemini and Llama, the large language models, you think of those as tools that are really good at the creative side of things, where you can ask it a very broad question and it will give you a very detailed answer. Well, Perplexity sort of sits at the other end of that spectrum, and Perplexity is an AI-driven search engine, and I use it all the time. I've got rid of Google search. I use ChatGPT search, and there's a video up here on how that works. But Perplexity, I think, is just even better. And there's some other tools within Perplexity that can really help your creative side. Really good for research, really good for planning things. There's a sort of custom GPT type thing in it. So let's jump in and have a look. Okay, so here we are in Perplexity, and if you want to get onto the site, you go to perplexity.ai. There it is up at the top, and you have a couple of options. You can use it for free, so it's absolutely free, and to be honest, to get most of the search capability, you just need to use the free version. If you go to the paid version, you get what are called pro features, and that gives you more pro searches. I'll show you the difference between those two, but it also gives you the chance to do some other things, and I'll dig into them as well. But to use it, basically, you just need the free version. So perplexity.ai, and you're in. Okay, so what's the difference between Google search and Perplexity search? Well, Google, you put in a question and it will give you a list of links that answer that question, whereas Perplexity bypasses that. It doesn't give you the links. The links are there, you can click on them if you want, but what it will do is try and answer your question from searching the web. So it jumps straight into that, answering the question. That's the power of Perplexity AI. And if you remember, I showed this similar sort of thing off with ChatGPT search, where it would go and search the web and give you an answer rather than giving you a list of links that meant you had to go and do the answer as well. Now, to be fair, Google's AI search that you get, let's just have a look. So here we are in Google, and actually if we put in something like latest football results, so it will give you sites here, latest football results, so you can go through and find the football results. Google search, do a Google search, AI for over 40s, and it gives me a list of videos that I could watch. It gives me some questions, and it gives me some blogs, etc. There's one from the professor. If you want to go to the professor.info, you can have a look. New site on its way, so go and have a look at that, and some videos, etc. So Google gives you that. Let's see what we get from Perplexity. AI for over 40s. Let's see what it gives me. So it still finds the video, fantastic, but it gives me an answer. It gives me career and professional development, content creation, document summarization, passive income generation, health and well-being. It's got a whole list of citations here, so you can go and have a look at the various citations. You can, there we go, some different ones, accessibility and convenience, learning and skill development, and it gives you a summary. Very cool. So this was just the same search in Google. You got a list of things to go and look at. And this one, it went and looked at all of those similar things. I'll be able to show them all. Here we go. Went to 8 different places, and it produced me an answer to my question. Fantastic. That's the difference. Okay, so before we jump in and do lots of other things with Perplexity, now we've seen their basics, let's just have a look at the various settings that you have. So you can change your appearance. So we might go to dark mode, save your screens. choose your language, accepting cookies, auto suggest, change your avatar. Might get one that's a bit more up to date. My username, the email I'm using, data retention. So you can decide whether Perplexity keeps the data that you put into it. You can have it to on or you can have it to off. But even if you turn it off, you can still have access to your library and it still looks at the web. And then we get into the pro subscriptions. You can manage your subscription. You can decide which AI models to use. So the default, it optimizes, Perplexity optimizes it for its search. But you can use Claude 3.5 Sonnet, Sonar Large, and that's one that's been trained by Perplexity, GPT 4.0 from OpenAI, Sonar Huge, Grok, and Claude 3.5 Haiku. So there's a number of different models you can choose from when you're working in Perplexity, or you can leave it on the default. You can choose the image generation model, and you've got Playground, you've got DALL-E or Flux. So I've used Playground. I think it's a little bit basic. DALL-E is great, but has some sort of drawback. So I'm going to try and use Flux and see what happens. You can join a Discord, and there's various supports that you can go to. These are only really available in the Pro version, and you've got the active account, etc. Fab. So then you can go to your profile. Okay, so here in the profile bit, it's a bit like setting up your customizing ChatGPT. So I am Paul Noon, aka the Professor AI, a YouTube star. One day we will see, covering all things AI. And then I'm telling it what I want it to do, write in a direct, personable, casual tone, not too exuberant. Always inform me of the confidence level of your answer. Always provide a valid URL to confirm the information. Do not use these words that you get in a lot of GPT. So ensure, critical, vital, nestled, uncover, journey, embark, unleash, drive, world, delve. They always use those words. It makes them very obviously been prepared by large language models. It's okay to be negative, to criticize, and to push back on the ideas that I have. You only need to be positive where appropriate, and check the web before answering. I can save that, tells me where I am. Preferred response language, automatic, it's fine. So if I put in something in French, it might give me a French result. So there we go. And then, quite interestingly, it asked me some questions. So it's asked me, what inspires you to start your YouTube channel about AI? And I've written in, I'm fascinated by the world of AI and what it might do for our economies and our communities. And you can skip it if you want. So the next question is, how do you stay up to date with the latest developments in artificial intelligence? So I said I watch a lot of YouTube videos and follow social media. I also look at academic papers and engage in conferences and online discussions. So it said, the next question is, besides AI, what other topics or hobbies are you passionate about? And I say, I love cricket and my family, especially my grandchildren. You've seen a bit of that over the last few weeks. And so I could now say, write a story based on me. Give me a recipe for my favorite food. Oh, it's asking me more questions. It's asked me some more questions. What's your favorite cricket team and why? And I've said Yorkshire, of course, because that's where I'm from. And if any of you have never been to Yorkshire, you're missing out. God's country. How do you balance your YouTube career with family time? It's difficult to balance YouTube, family, and work. All of these. And what recent AI development that surprised or excited you? And I said, I loved ChatGPT with Canvas. And if you haven't seen my video on Canvas, I think I might have done 2 videos on Canvas. Check them out. Okay, so now I've done those questions. Hopefully it'll stop asking me questions. It gives me an opportunity to write a story based on me, give me some movie recommendations, or give me a recipe for my favorite food. Do you have a quick look at the story? Just because like things about me. Okay, so just clarifying that they don't have access to personal information. But here's some details, and there we go. This journey, breaking, Yorkshire Cricket Club announces AI-powered coaching system. That would be fantastic. Anyway, I'm not going to go into that. That all looks very, very fun. Oh, I've got my grandkids. Cool. Anyway, enough of that. Enough of me. Can you have enough of me? I don't think so. can hear my wife's eyes rolling right now. Okay, so if you're on the Plus account as well, you can get the API. And if you go back to my last video on make.com, I use this API to be able to draw down information from Perplexity to create summaries of blogs that I'd seen, so that I could then create blogs of my own based on those initial blogs. And I obviously did quite a lot of testing, and then I did quite a lot in the video. You saw me run it multiple times, and you can see that I've managed to use 6 cents. So fantastic. It doesn't cost very much to use the API. And if you join the Pro plan, then you get $5 of Pro for free anyway. And then you can also use it as an enterprise model. Not sure what that means. So this is using it across a team, but obviously I haven't got that. Okay, so this is the Perplexity billing. So for free, you get unlimited quick searches. So you can just keep searching away. 3 pro searches a day, and I'll show you the difference between those two things. You get the standard Perplexity AI model. So I showed you the sort of default model. You get to use that. It's great. You don't really need to go much more than that. And then you can create a profile and personalize your answers, which is what I've just shown you. And the professional model, you get, again, unlimited quick searches. You get 300 plus pro searches a day. You can choose your model that you want to use, so GPT, Claude 4, etc. It also allows you to do visualizations to create pictures, and you get those $5 of API credits, and you're able to upload and analyze your own files. And I'm going to show you that in a moment, a bit like Notebook LM. So Perplexity, really cool. Lots of things that are similar to other tools that I've shown you over the last few weeks, and I'm going to go into those in the next few minutes. Okay, so here we are in Perplexity, and we're at home. So the first thing you get is this pretty familiar, what do you want to know? Ask anything. And you've got a couple of things here. You can focus. So here you can choose whether it searches the web, just academic papers. So if you're doing academic research, then click on that and it will only go to academic papers rather than the broad web. Math equations, just looking at a better way of solving, getting numerical answers. You can use it for generating text or chat without searching the web. So drawing on the LLMs that are there. Now, I think one thing to remember is that the way that Perplexity uses ChatGPT or Claude, for instance, is different to using it direct in the Claude or ChatGPT app. And I would say, having used this now for a while, if you want really creative, in-depth responses to things, then I would use ChatGPT or I will use Claude directly rather than using it through Perplexity. I'm not sure that's where its real its real selling point is, in that in-depth creative writing. You can ask it to look at videos. So in particular, if you're wanting to, say you're wanting to learn how to change the cistern in your toilet, then a video might be much more useful than a whole load of text. And social media. So if you're looking at something that's maybe really current, like the latest football results, then and the chat around the football results, then having social media might be the perfect way of doing it. Let's just try that. What is the chat about the latest Manchester United result? So this Manchester United played football today, and they lost 2-3 to my team, Nottingham Forest. So let's have a look what people are saying. Manchester United's performance was inconsistent, poor first half, better in the second half, conceded 2 goals from corner kicks. Despite the loss, some fans noted positive aspects. Not doing so well, are they? Højlund scored for Manchester United. The managerial impact, they've got a brand new manager. So there's some chats about that. Looking ahead, fans discussed upcoming challenging fixtures against top teams. Quite a lot of people, a lot of teams are above Manchester United in the league right now. So like Arsenal, Man City, and Tottenham. Concern about Manchester United potentially dropping in the table by Christmas. There you go. So that just took it from social media, and you get the links there. So that one's from Reddit. There's this one. That's a Reddit one as well. I wonder if it does. Yeah, a lot of Reddit. Obviously, it thinks that it uses Reddit a lot to get its information. Don't we all? Here we go, back at the home again, and I've got it set to social for the Manchester United score. Just reminding you that they lost 2-3 against Nottingham Forest, who are doing very well, up to 5th. Let's go back to the web. You're also able to attach, you can attach images, text, or PDFs. Now, if you only have the standard version, the non-paid version, it won't allow you to add in images at this point. But if you save those images as PDFs, then it will read them. So there you go. That's maybe a workaround if you don't have the pro version. And then you get this choice of doing either pro or normal searches. Okay, so let's just check the difference between the standard version and the pro version. So first thing I've said is tell me about Yorkshire puddings. It got me going, having to tell them which cricket team I was going to I followed. So give me a Yorkshire, tells me it's a classic British dish. Baked pudding, texture, historical background, cultural significance, how to prepare it, 4 eggs, 1 cup of flour, 1 cup of milk or water, salt to taste, beef dripping or other fat. Very hot. Yeah, pretty good. And because remember I've put in my own requirements of Perplexity, and I always say tell me the pros and cons. So it's given me the pros: versatile dish, simple ingredients, cultural heritage. Cons: is there any? It requires precision, or you've got to be good at it. You've got to get the batter right, and you've got to get the temperature right to make it mix, and it's time sensitive. Both those things don't feel like cons to me, but fair enough. Okay, same prompt. Let's see what the pro version gives me. Now, to be fair, the standard version was pretty good. Beloved British dish with rich history. So as you can see, it's just giving me more detail. We trace back to the 1700s. I even get a video of how to make them. I don't think he looks like he's from Yorkshire at all. So I'm very surprised. They look quite nice, Yorkshire puddings, but I'll be very surprised. Yeah. So the Yorkshire is believed to be associated with the region's use of coal ovens to provide higher temperatures. So you need to have a high temperature or it doesn't go crispy on the outside. 1 cup plus 2 tablespoons of all-purpose flour, cup of whole milk, full of salt. Use the right pan. Preheat the pan until it's smoking hot. Yeah, absolutely important. Plastic cup shape. Use cold batter in hot tins. You put it in and it bubbles up. Mixture of milk and water, 7-to-1 ratio, can make a crispier pudding. Interesting. Now, it hasn't referenced my grandmother, who was brilliant at making Yorkshire puddings, but not bad. And then it gives me the video, and of course, lots of nice citations. The Yorkshire Pud Co. Okay, so for those of you out there that've never had a Yorkshire pudding, and you're able to put a pretty hot oven together, you can do this, and they are fantastic with roast beef or any meat really, with gravy on top of them. You can even eat them cold with some jam in, maybe. They're savory, but you can add a sweetness to them. They're great with sausages in the middle. That's called toad in the hole. And traditionally in Yorkshire, they were eaten before the meal with gravy on to sort of fill you up, so you needed less meat, because Yorkshire people are known for being thrifty with their money. Anyway, it's enough about Yorkshire puddings. Every day's a learning day. So there we have the difference between the pro and the standard search. I thought the standard search was really good, actually, but the pro search gives you more depth and detail. So next thing you have is Discover. And Discover is sort of like a series of blogs that are created for you. So there we go. OpenAI has introduced a ChatGPT Pro, a $200 monthly subscription plan designed for power users, offering unlimited access to its most advanced AI models. I'm not sure even I'm going to spend $200 a month on ChatGPT. Tokyo's 4-day work week, that sounds good. Apple's 5G modem. So it's pulling together stories from around the globe, talking that it thinks might be of interest to me. It's cool, isn't it? It gives us the top stories. Is a sixth ocean forming? How cool is that? Tech and science, commercial space station era, steam machines resurgence plan, finance, arts and culture, sport. Brazil, 100 million Nike extension. It's quite American, isn't it? I do like some American sports. I like baseball. I'm a big fan of the Seattle Mariners. They're not playing at the moment because it's winter. Pep Guardiola in a bit of trouble at Manchester City. You can make it yours. You can select topics and interest and then save them. And then you can come back to this every day if you want, and it will draw this in. It's nice. Okay, so the next thing I want to show you is spaces. Now, spaces, the easiest way to describe spaces is they're like chat GPTs, so the custom GPTs that you can make in chat GPT. If you remember, I made one for one of my viewers on desert roses, and spaces is a way of creating a similar thing, but in Perplexity. And in Perplexity, you get some additional things that you can do with it that I think make it really cool. So let's have a look at one that I wrote. So blog writer, I've done some blogs using this already. Let's just have a look at the instructions. So if we just edit, we can see them. So I've called it blog writer. It's a space for blog writing. It tells me, tell it it's a social media blogging expert, and then write a blog for the professor. Do it in HTML, in Markdown format. Blog must adhere to the following structure: H1 tags, H2 tags. Present the main ideas in logical sequence. Use bullets or tables where appropriate. Use real-life examples. Use straightforward language. Put loads in here. Make sure the conclusion has a H2 tag. Summarize key takeaways. Call to action. Reference material. Use the HTML formatting requirements, etc. Tone should be personable, language should be direct, use English. There we go. And I've made it shareable so I can share this with other people. And I've decided to use the model Claude 3.5 Sonnet. I think Claude is really good at creative writing. ChatGPT 4.0 would also be another good model. If I wanted something a bit spicier, then Grok might be interesting. Update. So there we go. Okay, let's see if it can write a blog that might be really useful as we get to the end of the year. So what can we expect from AI in 2025? Do a pro search again. AI revolution 2025, what business leaders need to know, transformation of enterprise AI, key developments, AI agents and automation. I did a video on automation last video about make.com, infrastructure evolution, sustainable AI. I think we might see more use of the small language models because they're just a bit more efficient. Business impact, workplace devolution, technology, device integration. We're already seeing that, aren't we? Model capabilities will improve. Looking ahead, conclusion 2025 marks a pivotal year for AI advancement, characterized by practical implementation rather than theoretical potential. Success will depend on balancing innovation with strategic planning and effective integration into existing business processes. I agree with that. So there we go. We've got a blog. Now, what you can do, you can share that with some people. So you could get some contributors to work with you on that. And you just literally any contributors that you give access to your space can view this. And you can share it with Twitter, WhatsApp. You can copy a link or onto Facebook. You can keep it secret, of course. You can convert to a page. I'm going to do that in a second. You can copy a link and share it. You can do that up here. You can save it as a bookmark. If you click here, you can add it to a space. Now, if you add it to your space like this, so you create a new space, then you can effectively have this as the core of what you're doing, still using the blog writer, and then you can ask more questions of it and it will all stay in the same piece. So like, I think creating using ChatGPT with Canvas, where you keep it all in one place. So really cool. But what I want to do is show you on how to convert it to a page. Now, we saw earlier with the Discover, those are blog pages. And here, what happens is that it creates your page into a blog. So it's just writing it up. It's got all of the different links into it if you want to go and look at the individual bits of information. AI agents and device, sustainable AI practices. How cool is that? But it's not the end. What you can do is you can add in different sections. So if I wanted to insert a section here, I could add media, and it will go and search for some media, AI predictions. There we go. You can AI agents and device integration. Talked about that, didn't we? The same thing. Oh, this is AI predictions hot topics. Same one. Don't want that. Change it. So I can have a look at, maybe I'm going to do a video on this at some stage. There we go, and put that one in there. And so this is adding media. And then what we could do is add a section. So if we go down to the bottom, we can insert a section, and maybe we'll insert something AI for the over 40s. So it's now putting in a section that AI for mature minds, platforms like LinkedIn and X. It's my group, and then it will allow us to add some media. Oh, I always do AI for the over 40s. It's the only thing that I rank for in Google. But there we go. So you can add that into the blog. Now you can do some other things as well. You can, if you have your own blog, which obviously I do, you can highlight this text, and I can add in a hyperlink to the professor.info. Visit the professor's website. Oh, it'd be very cool if that. Yeah, there it goes. It's going to get better. So come back in a week's time. I think that will be better. So just to be clear, what I've done is I've created a backlink to my website in Perplexity. Clickable backlink. Cool. Now I can just go and publish that, and it will, I can add a picture in at the top, set a section, generate an image, do a painting, or let's do a photograph. What we get, and remember this is getting it from Flux, generating me a nice image. I think it's very good. You get the different areas of it. You can change the layout, you can edit, and then if you want to publish it, you can just publish it. Curated by me, a 1-minute read. You can increase what's in there, Very, very cool. Let's have a look what more gives you. Or you can move things up and down. You can delete sections. Got your sources there. My link. How easy is that? One key, created a blog. Now, what you can't do is effectively just take that blog and put it on your own website, on your own blog site. But you could cut and paste it if you wanted to. That'd be a bit fiddly. But putting it on to Perplexity is worthwhile. Gives you that backlink to your website. And how easy was it? And I can use this information to create my own blog. Obviously, I would want to go through a lot of reworking to put it on my own blog, but I've got a nice picture, I've got structure, I've got various links, etc. Really cool. Okay, now the other thing you can do with Spaces, which is really cool, which it sort of makes it a bit like Notebook LM, is that you can do things like just upload your own files. So here, this is a demonstration that Perplexity have. They've got the Art of War. So it's a PDF of the Art of War. There you go. We've got the Art of War PDF. You can add as many files as you want. And these files can be up to 25 megabytes. So the Art of War PDF there is 142 kilobytes. So you could put in a pretty big file. And think if you were doing research into a particular subject, and you had a whole load of papers that you downloaded, you could upload them and then use this in the same way as I showed in Notebook LM. I'll put the video up above. You can then just access those files rather than going to the web. So now we've got, you can question the documents. You can either go to you can have the web on, or you can turn the web off and just have your files, the Art of War, and you could put whatever document you wanted in there, remember, or you could have the web. So let's just look at the Art of War. So it's not going out to the web now at all. And you could say, what can businesses learn from the Art of War, if anything? And remember, it's only looking at this file here. See what it does. So, with ChatGPT, if you just did this in ChatGPT and loaded up that file, it would sort of make things up. It would go out and try and find things. Whereas here, it's very narrow. It's looking at the Art of War. So there you go. Businesses can indeed learn valuable lessons: strategic planning, adaptability, competitive advantage, leverage strength, momentum, organizational culture, motivation, ethical considerations. And this is really interesting. At the bottom, it gives you these related. So next question. So how would you go even further? So how can businesses apply the concept of maneuvering to outmaneuver competitors? What strategies from the Art of War can help in managing a diverse workforce? Let's have a look at that. You just click on that and it will ask another question using the same information and give you that more detailed answer. So just taking it from that one piece of document there, and you can add up to, I think it's 50 documents, 25 megabytes each. So that's quite a large library that you could draw from if you're asking it specific questions. Very cool. Very, very cool. Again, I could convert that to a page. I could share it. I could bring in collaborators. Really, really very useful. Okay, that's Perplexity. I hope you enjoyed it. I think it's a really useful tool. I use it regularly now and have used it for maybe a month or two, and it's certainly my go-to for doing searches of the web and getting the information I need. I use ChatGPT search as well. I think that's good. Do you need the paid version? Well, unless you're going to use it in Make or something like with Make.com, you need the API. Unless you really want to build those custom GPT type things with your own documents, then probably not. I think it's well worth trying, and certainly if you think it's worth it, $20 a month is what we're talking about for the full pro version. I pay it. I think it's worth it, but you try it out, see what you think. All right, I've been the professor. I'll catch you soon. Bye-bye.